What's up, ACL Nation? This week on the ACL Throwdown, we are going to welcome Kill Shots owner and ACL pro Austin Reynard. He is going to talk about balancing life as an ACL pro and a bag manufacturer during this chaotic pandemic. We're also going to talk about the ACL's newest partnership with ACL pro Bobby Fink and Ghost Cornhole. This is the ACL Throwdown. We got ACL Pro and Kill Shots representative Austin Reynard on the show this week. But first, my hashtag Trey's Takes, and we are talking about the ACL's most recent partnership with Ghost Cornhole. An incredible training tool is now going to become a part of the ACL's ACL virtual platform that allows players to compete against other players remotely with specific handicaps catered to individuals' skill levels. So what is Ghost Cornhole? The concept is you are playing at a board by yourself, competing against a ghost player. That ghost player scores the same amount each round. Some players have used this tool for a while now, but just for the first time in this past year, Bobby Fink, ACL Pro, has put some real structure behind it, and the ACL was so excited about what he's done, we partnered with him to really build this up. So for example, if you're playing against a Ghost 6, the Ghost player each round is going to score 6 points. If you score more than 6, you'll earn points. You're playing to 21. If you score less than 6 points in a round, you're going to give up the differential with that point. So Bobby Fink has really put together an incredible outline of different features, all the way from a Ghost Basic where everybody in the tournament is playing against the same Ghost, that goes 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10 for some of our best ACL pros. Even introduced another format similar called Ghost Defense, where the board is fixed each round with blocker bags in specific locations that force you to work around them. He's also working on Ghost format that allows players to play at different skill levels and different Ghost opponents in the same tournament. So just because you're throwing at a Ghost 6, you can still throw against a Ghost 10 individual and have a score that is pretty close to one another based on your skill level. So it's a really great tool. We're excited to work with Bobby Fink to develop this tool completely outwards and have a great opportunity for players to continue to compete while they're sitting in quarantine, as well as training themselves to become better players each and every day. Stay tuned for more information and more releases, more details, and stay plugged in with your local, regional, and local directors. That way we can give you the most up-to-date information as well as here on the ACL social media platforms. Let's get to my conversation with Kill Shots rep Austin Reynard. He's going to talk about his success of his business during this most chaotic time. ACL Nation, I got Austin Reynard here from Kill Shots Cornhole. Kind of got a double dip action here. We got an ACL Pro and an ACL bag manufacturer. Austin, thanks for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so obviously kind of the hot topic right now is this pandemic and how different manufacturers are handling it right now. What's it been like for you amidst all of this chaos within your operation and trying to still push out bags and stay relevant?
Yeah, man, it's been interesting to say the least. I mean, there's been quite a few times where we've planned on having packages come in, like some of our fabrics and things like that, and one of our packages sat in New Jersey for 10 days that we needed to get orders out, and so it's, there's a lot of delays and stuff that people aren't really seeing in the back end of things. And obviously, here dealing with the government shutdown and stuff like that in Michigan's been tough. We had to kind of cut down all of our employees and things like that. And so me and my brother have been putting in a lot of hours. I mean, there's been multiple times over the past 2 weeks I've done over 24-hour shifts, and so it's pretty nuts, but we're doing what we can, with what we got here, trying to make sure that we can keep up with everybody.
and you know, you kind of told me you guys are still kind of in a small space, trying to you're trying to
Yeah,
compete with the
yeah,
big
yeah.
boys, and you know, you're
Yeah, so
still in kind of a
I'll
smaller
give you a
space.
little preview. You can see there's kind of bags floating everywhere in here. And if you look like over my shoulder here, that window is actually my basement window. So we're still doing all this out of the basement, man. And it's you know, we just opened on Black Friday, so I think the perception from a lot of people is that we've been open, you know, as long as like all Cornhole and Reynolds and these guys, and you know, it's just not the case. You know, we've been expanding pretty quickly, and we're just trying to keep up. I mean, I got a sewing machine in my kitchen right now. I took the kitchen table out. I got a sewing machine in my living room. We took the living room, the whole living room out. The tables, the couches, everything's out of there. There's bag totes. There's probably 20 totes upstairs. I mean, we got 500 sets sitting in the house right now, so it's pretty nuts. And
Unbelievable.
then, you know, between all of that and just trying to keep up, you know, we have some wasted sets and stuff like that. You know, as far as like some that didn't print very well, or you know, corners weren't cut correctly, or anything that we couldn't really send out. And we've been trying to, you know, do what we can, and we kind of prototyped some masks and stuff that we're making just, you know, out of the bags.
Very
And
cool.
we're waiting on some elastics and stuff like that, but we plan on just kind of giving those out somewhere around the community. You know, we're not really going to sell them or anything like that, but just do what we can to help out, you know. And we've also did like a bingo giveaway with a lot of the local restaurants. So we're giving away a set of cornhole boards and a set of bags. And, you know, if you go to a restaurant and you have your receipt, you can mark off the bingo card. And so if you get a bingo, then you get entered in for the raffle. So it's
Very cool.
just kind of helping out the community, trying to do what we can, you know.
Yeah, very cool. I love that. Love that initiative that you got there. That's really cool. So let's step back a little bit here. So I don't know if you remember this, but um, you grabbed me at the 2019 ACL final chase. We were up at Mohegan Sun, and you came up to me. You said, "Trey, I got these bags. You got to try them." And you made me throw four of them, and I don't know if you remember this, but I threw a four bagger, and then you're like, "You see, you need them," and I said, I never need another bag again. I'm never throwing another bag again. It was my shining moment. But you know, when you think about back to that time and where you've come since then, what has that journey been like, and how have you managed to put together such a successful brand?
I mean, honestly, man, it's been a little overwhelming. I mean, we've been getting so much support from the community, and that's great. You know, I love it. It's a lot of it's, you know, supportive and great. And so it's just, you know, when we think back to the times like that, when I was sewing with my grandma's sewing machine, and I was doing it on the kitchen table, and we are like, oh, you know, maybe we'll sell 100 sets of bags this year. And I was going to think, you know, if I can cover the fees for the ACL and, you know, just kind of get the brand out there and just use it as like a feeler year to see what's going on, and then plan for next year. You know, that's kind of what we were doing. I was pretty much begging everybody to throw the bags, you know, I'd always be at tournaments. I'm sure you've seen me out there talking to everybody, and you know, people probably thought I was crazy at first. Like, well, this guy, leave me alone. I don't want to throw your bags, you know, but I was just trying to get everybody to throw them, and just kind of, you know, testing them out that way, and just getting feedback from a lot of the players. You know, and that's kind of how we came up with a lot of our series, was just the feedback we got from everybody. And I tried to hit all the skill levels there. You know, so it was, you know, we obviously took a lot from like the top pros and things like that. But it was quite interesting to see how it just started trickling in, and then all of a sudden it was boom, boom, boom. And then we started to take off quite a bit right before, obviously Kyle and Dalton were throwing them in the first national there, you know, and we were starting to take off. And then once they hit, you know, that obviously accelerated the process.
Yeah.
Especially the way those guys threw them. I mean, Kyle and Dalton are so fun to watch in the first place, and then, you know, just to see some of the shots that they hit. And, you know, the one time when Ryan hit the rollover shot and the crowd went nuts, and then Dalton kind of sat back and he was like, and then hit the drag from the side, and just for him to be able to compose and do that, man, it was fun to watch. I think I was more nervous in the crowd than Kyle and Dalton were playing. I think if you look at the videos, I'm look like, man,
Oh, that's
I'm a deer in
awesome.
headlights back there, man. It's I don't know. I was real nervous. Something was gonna go wrong. It was gonna be my fault.
Well, nothing went wrong for them, so you're in the clear there. Obviously, you've had a great, year so far putting this brand together, and so a lot of things. I think a lot of people still forget a little bit that you are also an ACL pro. So, I joked with you before the call that I got to imagine the play has suffered at least a little bit from all this chaos. What's it been like trying to balance the two roles you got going on?
Yeah, it's I think it's tougher on Nick than it is on me. I'm pretty sure Nick's hating the fact that he picked to play with me this year. At the beginning of the year we were tearing it up in the local stuff. The regionals. I think we knocked off probably 95% win rate in the beginning of the year in the regionals, and I mean even since then we were able to still kind of make it to the finals. Nick was able to carry me through a lot of that stuff, but I definitely is a tough balance, especially when I'll be at tournaments and things like that. And then there's, people are asking about orders, and, obviously we have a severe backlog right now. We're a little backed up. So every time I go to a tournament, there's a lot of people that have bags, so we're trying to figure out where the order's at and things like that. So it's hard to focus, I guess is the main part. It's not necessarily the mechanics as much. Obviously I don't get to practice like I was, I was playing 4 or 5 times a week. And at that time I felt pretty comfortable. I didn't think I was going to go take Kyle down in a singles tournament or anything like that. But, I felt comfortable to be next to him. Now, if I'm playing Kyle, I'm like, if I score 2 points, we might be all right. I'm just trying not to get skunked, man.
Yeah.
But we're working through it. I think it'll all start to pan out once we kind of get caught up and things get situated. We have a commercial unit that we're looking at as soon as all this stuff clears over. So once we move in there, I think I'll be able to play a lot more. We actually built a practice facility in there, so I'll be able to throw.
Perfect. That's awesome. That's great to hear. So, what are some of the, people just learning about kill shots and just trying to get familiar with the brand? What are some of your, your best sellers? What are some highlights of those different bags?
So most of our popular bags amongst like the pros and the advanced players have what we call the players material on it. So our number one seller is I got one actually right here. It's the 357 series, and the players material is on the slower side here. And so what that is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a player's material. I compare it similar to something like a blade in golf. It's going to take a little bit more skill to play with, but if you can use it right, you'll be able to hit all your shots. So if I'm trying to hit a rollover shot or a hook shot, or if I want to block an airmail, or if I just want to use it as an aggressive slide bag, I feel that bag is able to kind of accomplish all those things. And then it's still going to be really hole friendly around the hole and things like that, without being hyper fast. And, that one's going to break down a little bit. It's not going to be super loose or super full. It's kind of like our middle grade. And I think that's kind of what caused the popularity between that, is it's kind of like a combination of all of our things, and it's right in the middle of everything. And then we got obviously Kyle and Dalton through the RPGs on ESPN. You can see how versatile those were when they were hitting the shots with those. So actually I got one of those here, and this features like a weird, I don't know if you can kind of see the detail in this. It's like a weird carpetish, I don't know what it is. It's like Rob from Boardmen called it grandma's yarn, because that's what it kind of looks like. But it's definitely an interesting material. We call it our textured slick side material. It's something I feel like I can drag bags with on the slick side, but it's still pretty quick. And it's a little bit fuller bag. So that's, more so that kind of feel there. And then our slick bags would be like a M134 here. And obviously this one's like one of our limited releases. We do a lot of that stuff too, like for the designs, and feel like we've been getting pretty known for a lot of our custom crazy designs that we've been putting out. So that one's going to be our fastest material. It's going to be a glass material, which is like a thinner, super slick, smooth side. And pretty much anything that hits the hole with that, it's going to slide in. And as those things break in, I got a broken in one here. It's pretty loose. So, anything that touches around the hole with it being so fast and so loose, I mean, those things are just dropping right in. And I feel like a lot of people are really transitioning towards that, especially, a lot of newer players like a little bit slicker bag, just because it gives you more forgiveness. If you're playing with, something like the player's material, the thing that's best about that player's material is it's not going to kick unless you're really trying to hook it or anything like that, but it's still not going to be as hole friendly as something that's super slick, and actually got a kind of sneak peek. I don't think a lot of people have seen this bag, so you're kind of going to be the first one to see this. So this is our 9mm bag. It hasn't released yet, and this is kind of in our black Lion. That's a personal bag just for me that I made. The original Lion series that we came out with, it was supposed to be a bag for me, and so many people wanted it. I'm like, I guess we got to release it, So I made the blacked out one, and this one's just mine. I'm not going to release this one.
Nice.
But this is the slick side of the 357, which is our most popular series, and then it's the slick side of the RPG. So you're going to get kind of the feel of both of those. It's going to be kind of a mid-tier, but it's still going to be loose, and it's going to be hyper fast. So anything around the hole with those things, especially with that textured slick side, you'll be able to kind of get an extra little bit of friction when you're trying to grab bags. And, if you start getting something that's a little bit outside, if you can throw a little bit of a hook on it, you're going to drag that thing. I feel like I can drag something from pretty much anywhere on the board with those. And so those are kind of like our main 4 series, but we have 10. So I think that goes back to me being pretty new, thinking, we're only going to sell 100 sets of bags. I'll just make 10 series. That way we can hit everybody. And if I sell 10 or 20 sets of a series, then we're good to go. I never could have imagined it was going to take off like this. So we've been kind of cutting back on what series we're offering at certain times and kind of trying to take it one by one there. But it's definitely been a little bit of a logistics problem, but we're figuring it out, kind of figuring it out as we go.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. And it sounds like you've kind of developed a strategy to kind of hit all different types of player types. And I'm assuming that's kind of your overall philosophy, is just to try to hit as many different type of playing styles as you can.
Yeah, that's our biggest thing. We feel like if there's a bag out there for pretty much everybody that's in our arsenal, you might not love all of them, but you're definitely going to find one in there that's going to fit your playing style.
Absolutely. ACL Pro, Kill Shots owner, president, whatever, Austin Reynard. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Austin. I appreciate you taking the time. Good luck with the business. Good luck with trying to recoup your game, and I hope I wish you continued success throughout the rest of the season.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Austin Reynard, obviously a pleasure to talk with, a great conversation with him, and he's done a phenomenal job building a bag manufacturing brand from the bottom up all the way towards the top as it emerges one of the best manufacturers out there. So thank you, Austin, for your time. It was certainly a pleasure. Make sure you guys are still competing in these ACL virtual events. You can contact your nearest local director. You can also go to the player app, app.iplayacl.com, and search for events right there. Find one suited for you. Some of them have big payouts. We're having some ones featuring ACL Pros. An ACL Pro International Invitational is coming up soon with a $1,000 grand prize. There's plenty of events to play in during the midst of this chaotic quarantine, so make sure you stay busy and keep your bags straight. That's all the time that we got this week for the American Cornhole League. This has been your host, Trey Ryder. We'll see you guys next week.